Hello, welcome to episode 4 of EBKCast. I'm Ethan,
I'm Brandon.
and today we're going to be talking about what printer you should get or what printers are good right now in 2024. First of all, disclaimer, we're both Asian, so of course this will be from a quite rather
Cheap?
price-oriented direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very price-oriented. That's going to be a big part of it. So first of all, I'd like to talk about the printer I own, the Bamboo Lab P1S. Do I wish I had an X1 Carbon? Yes, I do. Do I have the
Well,
money for
it's
that? Is it worth it?
nah.
For me, no. Yes, it's nice to have that higher bed temp, that aluminum panel, that beautiful touchscreen, the LiDAR sensor, the no calibration. But of course, and the AI monitoring and the better camera, but it's not really worth another 1,000 for me. Actually, in Canada, it's about 1,300 extra. So, if
I'll
I
can
had
get
that kind
that.
of money, yeah, I'd just buy two P1S combos instead. Um, yeah, but
'Cause we're just
what I
trying to
do
get a
think,
farm going for like production
yeah,
because we're
I
selling
think
stuff to
eventually if
classmates.
we start selling more, because I do sell to some friends. For example, the other day I just did so it was for a math project he wanted to do. So it was just a cylinder that was what, palm size, I want to say, from fingertip to wrist, about that long, that high. Diameter was what, 5 centimeters. I think that it's it only cost about 14 cents to print. It was one wall extruded to 0.55 millimeters, and I want to say 5% cubic adaptive cubic infill. So, and then I managed to sell it for $5, and well, he ended up giving me six because he didn't change. But I think this is actually realistically a good business thing. So let's talk about printers that are good for a print farm. So I've heard many people like Shop Nation and other people who've gone for the Bamboo Lab P1P. Now, at first glance, one might say, okay, I have the P. There's a P1P that's for 770 Canadian dollars right now versus the Bamboo Lab A1,
Well, it really depends if you want
which,
AMS or not. If you want
yeah,
like
yeah. So by
combo.
itself, the A1 right now is 519 Canadian dollars. Now, first of all, I think someone who doesn't know much or is confused would say, why would I buy a P1P instead of A1? It has the same build volume. It boasts the same print speed of 500 millimeters a second. Both are compatible with AMS. Now, I would argue the P1P, you're buying it probably because you can afford a bit more than an A1. You want Core XY. Your acceleration is 2 times your acceleration of the A1, and it's not a bed slinger, it's Core XY. Here's the thing.
Slapping your
When
table, Ethan.
Yeah, when you print stuff, your maximum speed doesn't really matter most of the time because you're switching directions so often. What really matters is your acceleration. Like a car, for example, let's say it's like the whole Tesla did that thing with the Cybertruck compared to a Porsche 911, right? In terms of speed. And Tesla said that they do the Cybertruck towing a Porsche 911 can go faster than a Porsche 911. Now, only because they did quarter mile, I think, quarter mile. The acceleration of the Cybertruck is insane, but its top speed is lower. Top speed didn't matter for that because it was so short distance, just like most of the things you print, that the top speed really doesn't matter because you'll barely reach that. But the really important thing is your acceleration. And they both have the same top speed, so there's not the P1P is just faster. And the thing is, you can add and turn it into a P1S if you want. Now, here's the thing: if you want to buy a, you want eventually to get a P1P with the AMS, it's just cheaper to straight up buy the P1S combo than it is to buy a P1P and an AMS separate, because there's no such thing as a P1P combo.
Yeah, AMSs are
Yeah,
like hella expensive right now. I'm guessing they're gonna go down in price like later on because they're
yeah,
still pretty
because
new. 3D printing is pretty
yeah,
new, but like man, Bamboo is pushing it right now.
Yeah, so the A1 is 519 Canadian dollars by itself. The combo is 719. Now, here's the thing. The combo is pretty attractive. However, I'm sorry, Bamboo, I have to say this. Right now, there is an even more attractive option, and that is the Anycubic Cobra 3 combo. Now, first of all, let's talk about the A1. Okay, remember this. It has an unenclosed AMS light, and it is fast to swap filaments because they have 4 filament paths, right? And it's an open frame with the purge. Now, this is what I like about the Cobra 3 combo. Their AMS is not only enclosed, it's also active drying. So you basically have what essentially it can't go as, I believe it only goes to 55 degrees Celsius or something like that. But it's still great. It's like you somehow shoved components of Sunlu S4 into a Bamboo Lab AMS, and then, they had a child, and then they gave birth to the Cobra 3 combo. Now, the thing I like about the Cobra 3 combo is it takes all the good parts of the good features of the P1 series and X1 series and takes the good parts of the A1 series and puts it all together in an Anycubic twist, traditional Cobra series twist. You get that beautiful touchscreen. I believe it's Clipper. Yeah, it should be Clipper. And
Ethan,
it's just
Ethan,
yeah.
Ethan. X1C is not like 1K expensive, bro. It's only like 600 more. You're tripping.
Oh no, no, you're on the US website. On the Canadian website, it's a lot more. Okay, so back to where I was. The Cobra 3 combo, it has the enclosed, it's called the Ace Pro, they call it. And they took the good parts of the X1 series, which was the enclosed AMS, added heating, and they implemented the better features of the the AMS Lite for the A1 series, in which they have 4 PTFE paths from the Ace Pro and also into the toolhead, meaning that with the traditional AMS, the enclosed one, you have to draw your filament all the way back, about a meter back, and then replace it all the way in. The Cobra 3 and the A1 series don't have to do that. They just have to take it out of the tool head and out about a few centimeters. That saves time, and it's just like not as like the AMS system is honestly very unnecessary. Doesn't need to pull it all the way back. Yeah, and right now it's on pre-sale for 450 US dollars, which is 615 Canadian dollars. So compared to the A1 combo, and the A1 combo, you still need to pay shipping. Anycubic's shipping, I believe, is free. So after shipping, you're looking at about $775 probably. While you're looking at 615 for the Cobra 3 combo. It is worth noting that the Cobra 3 combo only boasts a slightly smaller build volume of, I believe it was, let me check. 250 by Z height 260. So it's only about 6 millimeters smaller on the X and Y and 10 above for the Z axis. So yeah, I think if I got to choose between the A1 combo and the Cobra 3 combo, I would probably choose the Cobra 3 combo. Now, we need to see how they implement their software, their hardware, and their firmware. Now, Brandon can probably relate to this, but we all know how good it is on the school X1C to do prints, right?
Oh yeah. Like comparatively to like everything else, like right now, at least for our school stuff, like it's crazy good. But I mean, just saying, like it's just not worth it to like for like bunch of people because right now it's for like the Ankamic M5s are for prototyping, and then when they finally get everything like calibrated and everything, they move it over to the X1. But because it's so expensive, they only have one, but they have two M5s. So I'm just saying, like, it's a bit over the top. If you want get a print farm, yeah, like what Ethan said.
Yeah, the X1C is great, but unless you're really like such a big print farm that you can actually afford it, it's a lot more economical because once you calibrate the filament, the basic stuff. You only need to calibrate once. If you stay consistent with your filament, there's really no need to get an X1 carbon. You can get a lot more, P1 or A1 or Cobra 3 printers. Yeah, I think the Cobra 3 combo, it's certainly not the cheapest out there. The Creality Ender 3 V3 SE goes for about 250 Canadian dollars on sale, which it always pretty much is. Um, it's a great printer that only goes to 250 millimeters a second. It's a bed slinger. It's small, traditional Ender 3 size, but it's a great workhorse. But I think if you're going for a print run, it's justifiable to go to the Cobra 3 combo. Now, if any cubic or anyone that can, influence any cubic is listening to this, I'd really love to see the Cobra 3 combo implement into Orca Slicer, or yeah, with the same similar easy to use features such like the bamboos, right? Where you can
I
just
think that if
slice.
it gets a lot of sales and it's, like, very popular in, like, the
Yeah,
community, it's definitely gonna get into Orca Slicer and everything else. And also
yeah, you can
Cobra
just hit.
3 is very good
Yeah,
value. It's also on sale right now, at least for,
yeah, it's on the
US.
pre-sale.
It's like
On
that's
Canada too,
crazy
it's the
good.
pre-sale. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what I like about it is you can just I like about the bamboo printers and Orca slash Bamboo Studio implementation is that you can just hit slice, you're done slicing, you hit print, and you can send it right off. I think if any Cubic can do that exact interface or similar interface on Orca Slicer, work with Orca Slicer, or have their own equivalent of Orca Slicer with all the features, and they can actually keep up with the updates, then there's basically no doubt I would choose the Cobra 3 over the A1 combo any day of the week, because now you have the Ace Pro, actively drying, multicolor printing, and it actually is even faster. It boasts 600 millimeters a second. Now, how realistic that is with the bed slinger, um, I think at that point, um, your limitation is not your speed, it's how much your desk shakes, because eventually, I'm pretty sure at one point, there will be such a limit on 3D printers that our plastic just can't keep up with it. Currently, are like, no, there are like high speed PLAs and PETGs, but those are really way too expensive for what it is. For a regular cost, just like regular PLA or PETG, PLA tops out at about what, 300 millimeters a second realistically in print quality to get, good quality prints. And it doesn't matter, like the new FL Sun printers, S1 and T1s. Let's take a look here. Yeah, they have their new printers. Now the thing is, they're oops, sorry, I'm on the UK store. Okay, here we go. So their S1 printer boasts uh 1,200 millimeters per second and 40,000 millimeters per second squared acceleration and a large circular build volume. Now, yes, it does hot end reaches 350 degrees Celsius. However, it's so fast that I don't think even in 2 years, regular, like basic cheap cost PLA can keep up with that speed. Right now, our limitations, even on the bamboo, is not your max speed. It's how fast your filament can keep up with that. And so we're already at a point. So I think the bamboo is still going to be relevant in about 3 years from now.
Yeah, but I think
And
that, like, what Bamboo needs to do to improve is, like, just start killing the prices. They're getting more and more competition. Like, Cobra 3, that's probably gonna kill out the A1, but, like, yeah. And also for Anchor Make, seriously, Anchor Make needs to start innovating,
yeah, I've heard
please.
some rumors that Anchor Make is dead. They're not Anchor. Okay, so backstory. There's a very popular tech company called Anchor that makes everything from charging bricks, cables, and even USB-C hubs for MacBooks, right? And power banks too. They're a very premium tech company. They were always expensive. Their tech was always expensive, and they always will be. And so AnchorMake is their 3D printer series for that company, and they're trying to head into 3D printing. You see that same, beautiful chrome color. Beyond the looks and the simplistic look, it's really too much money for what it is. Like if I go to the website, oh, it says unbeatable price, AnchorMake M5 printer. starts only at $459. That's US dollars. And that is literally
Over 3.
the same price. That's actually $10 more than the Cobra 3 combo right now. It's smaller. It has no AMS. The camera is angled weirdly. You know, it's slower. It's not as good of a printer. And it boasts 500 millimeters a second, but realistically, with those rubber V-slot rollers, you're not reaching that. Your maintenance is going to be crazy. It boasts a 17-minute bench heat. I don't think that's actually very impressive nowadays. I think the
Yeah.
Liam Ray managed to get a sub 5-minute bench heat on a P1S. I don't think he modded much or anything at all. He just threw in a
He
new
just
hot
like
end.
overrided like the print speed and stuff with Orca Slicer.
Yeah,
That's
no,
about
he
it.
just went into Orca Slicer and did just entered higher numbers, and it just worked. And like, it's not what the slicer said. He actually timed. So I think that the M5 and M5C, to those who own this, I'm sorry, but you're out of the question right now. If Anchormate does not release anything completely groundbreaking, they're dead. They're gone as a company.
Like experience at school, the anchor make. Like I saw their prints. First of all, like that layer shift was crazy big. Second of all, like sure it could be because like they're not taking the best care of it. I'm pretty sure they like dry their filament with desiccant and stuff, but like they do like wipe their hands on the print bed, but like still, what is that warping, man? Like everything,
Yeah,
like
PLA,
PLA
no
should
matter what,
not warp.
there's no excuse. PLA, it was on a 65 degrees Celsius plate. There is no excuse ever for PLA to work. Open frame, this, that, bed slinger, it doesn't matter. PLA should never work.
And
And I
just saying
think,
it's like incredibly slow. It's just incredibly slow for that
you know,
price.
here's the thing. Bamboos, right? It says 500 millimeters a second. It actually realistically does that. The M5, it says 500 millimeters a second. Yes, you can. Yes, technically travel speed, you can go that fast, so you push it to go that fast. But honestly, I feel like that's just over marketing. Realistically, it's not going to reach that speed because you're on V-slot rollers. If you do, you're going to be replacing that really fast. You're going to get all this rubber dust here and there. It's going to heat up like crazy because of all that friction going through this and that. I don't think there's a reason why the A1 and the A1 and the A1 Mini can go that fast because they have to use linear rails. Now, if you guys don't know, linear rail is top of the line. It's top of the line. It's speed. It's fast. It's accurate. It's precision. The Cobra 3 combo, I believe, also should be using linear rails. At least they're not using V slot rollers. If they are, they're using metal ones. Yeah, I think any cubic or either Elegoo or both, we're always using metal V slot rollers. That's fine. Yeah, it seems like they're using metal V slot rollers. Looks like, but that's fine. Metal is fine. Only complaints I've heard people had was some people said it was loud, but honestly, that doesn't matter.
Like looking at the Anchor Make M5 printing, like it's literally if you don't want to like overrun it, like absolutely burn it out. If you're like just running it regular, it's printing half the speed of like something like Bamboo would make. And also for the Cobra 3, max is 600 millimeters per second. That's max. If you're like printing it regular, like you could still get up to like kind of up to par with Bamboo.
Yeah, the good thing about the Cobra 3 is it's tested, I believe, to reliably print at 600 millimeters a second. It'll last pretty long with that, which means if you tune it down even to half, 300 millimeters a second on regular Sunloop PLA Plus, you are still going to do great because you're using only at half of its maximum potential. And this maximum potential is actually engineered to do that well. So I think we're at pretty much our time limit. So we're gonna end this episode of this podcast. But I believe Bamboo really needs to start making innovation. And
No,
thanks for hopping on.
Anchor make more. No, Anchor make more,
Yeah,
bro.
Anchor Make also needs to improve. Okay, thanks guys.